With my poor eyes and poor skills, there was no way I was going to be able to see any of that detail, I think, with a black primer. And even this white primer, it left a few dark spots, so that will work. I can work with that. I didn't even bother trying to sand down or foul down that seam in the middle. These are just too small. Just being able to get anything done to them will be good enough for me. I got this color called Buff. I like it. It's doing pretty well for the skin. It's a little bit darker than the normal skin tone without being too dark, so that I can try to match the picture the best I can. But these are so small. But there's a start. Miniatures were not uniform at all. Many of their feet and some of the claws are separated, some are together. Many of their feet are messed up. But I decided to give them like a reddish leather. But of course this is like their leader, and so they don't look exactly like that. So I went with red leather skirt and like sandals, and then I gave them green to go with the green. These are the green figures, and made their claws look kind of like they're poisonous green instead of just the plain silver. And I think that will look pretty good. I did an ochre for the yellow ochre for the sand, and then I did the base in the green, a couple of coats of green on the base. Of course the bottom of the figures will still be green. Now some of these rough edges here where it was punched out, I'm just going to sand those down, get this smooth. I'm going to paint this edge the same green. For these figures, some of their faces, the masks came in clear, some of them did not. They looked like they had beards. Some of their armor, for instance, here, well, let me use this in. Here on top of the thighs, some of them, the pads showed up really well, and here on the forearms, the pads showed up well, and some did not. Some just looked horrible, and of course the spears are bent on some of them. So I just went really simple. I went with a gold-like colored armor and staff, and then I made the reptilian part of the armor and the boots to kind of be similar in color here, so it kind of matches. And then I did the base black because this is black, and I did the trim of that in black. For these figures I wanted to use some different colors, and I thought about purple, but I didn't think it would look really well against the blue that this is going to be. So I went with, I've got this cool color here. It's a gray, it says medium gray, but it's like a grayish brown when it dries. And so I did that for like wolf or dog fur in places. I did the weapon that way, and then I did the part of it, almost looks like an owl shield, like eyes. But the bottom of it, I think I'm going to do it blue just to tie everything together. So it's going to look a little weird, but I really was hoping it'd be more gray than the brown. But I wanted it to be different from the others, and I didn't realize I did the boots in a furry leather looking color, and I didn't realize until I'd done that every one of them I had done the shoes in the accent color. So here's the snake. I wanted it to kind of resemble the snake, and then I've used some yellow but not a lot, and I knew this was the yellow player, so I just went ahead and did very simple on the cloth there, just to keep this one easier. I want to start by saying I'm happy with the results, but I'm glad this is done. These have been setting for a while, and fighting with being sick, it's taken a while. So first I started off by finding, say, the miniatures I thought that matched with the artwork. You have these with the claws and with the claws, and this was green. So I started off, I made sure that the player board was painted the same green color, if you can see that there. Okay, and I wanted to keep the green somehow in the figure, but also try to get the figure to match the artwork. And you'll see that was hard to do because some of the artwork, the colors are similar no matter what the miniature was actually printed in, what color. So and I thought about doing a wash on especially the red and yellow armies, but I was afraid that since they're so small, if I messed them up, I wouldn't be able to fix it. It would take too long. Fighting with eye strain, rest, and just runny nose and stuff, each army took me 4 or 5 hours to do. So once I got them done, I was like, I don't want to risk it with a wash. So let me give you an idea of these with the miniatures. And this is what the side of the boards look like. Looks pretty good. Turned out well. So I tried to match the ring base color to the original model color as best I could to mark the army player color and match that to the edges of the boards, lightly sanding them down to get them smooth, removing any of the little nicks, and then painting a nice even coat of the paint across there just to seal it. Now anywhere on the figure where you see a yellow, it is a yellowish gold color, and it might be hard to see on camera. I'll try to make sure you can see later. But the bases are in an ochre color, and it has an orangey tint, and it does look more like sand. With the yellow figure, it is sometimes from a distance hard to tell the difference. After applying the primer, I let them set overnight before I would paint. Then I would let them set for 24 hours before I put on the clear coat, just to try to be safe, because these are so small I did not want to risk messing them up. So letting them dry really well before putting on the clear coat, I waited about 15 minutes and put a second coat of the clear coat on, and now I think they're good to go. Here's a penny to give you an idea of scale. Overall, I'm happy with them. I could not get all the colors to match perfectly with the bases. I had to share some colors between some of the characters, and as you could tell in the pictures, some of the plastic minis were bent and out of shape, and the weapons were, and they were tilted, but it's all good. It turns out well. I'm happy with it, and I'm sorry I did not record more of my thought process as I was going through, but hopefully you enjoyed, and it will give you some idea of something you might want to do on some of your board game paintings. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and God bless you.